So, Assalamu alaikum, children. Again, we are continuing with the chapter transport system. Okay, so we completed that first page, and where here we talked about different types of transport systems. Okay, like the river taxi, bicycles, metro trains, bullet trains, buses, right, and helicopter, right. All those are the different types of transports. Now, moving on, according to the several like different pictures given here in the first page of the chapter, they have described about these transport systems in the next page. Okay, uh, here you all can see that transport systems around the world. The first paragraph, the buses in Curitiba, a city in southern Brazil, carry 2 million passengers a day. That's 85% of the city's population. You buy your ticket before you get on to the bus. The fare is the same wherever you are going. No one in the city lives more than 400 meters away from a bus stop. Buses are very frequent, and the tube shaped shelters are raised to make it easier to get on and off the bus. People don't need to use their cars in the city, so there's less pollution and less congestion. So, before we move on to explain what they are talking about in the first paragraph, underline the word congestion. I'm going to say the meaning at the end, right? The first paragraph, they are talking about the picture, the first picture, that is not the first picture, I'm thinking talking about the bus. It's a type of a bus in Brazil, okay, a city called Curitiba. This bus, right, most of the people in this city, that is 85% of the city's population, they travel in this bus only. Now, whichever place, wherever place you need to go, the bus fare, the money, the ticket they take for the bus is the same. Okay, according to the distance, it won't differ. If it is 15 rupees, it is 15 rupees only, even if you are traveling for a longer distance than the others, right? And this, they are saying, this is a tube shaped bus, and also uh, there are bus stops all over this city Curitiba. There are bus stops, so the people also, they don't live like far away from this bus stop, so it's easier for them just to come from the bus for the bus stop and get onto a bus, because these buses are also very frequent, right? If one bus leaves at 8:15, next minute itself another bus would come, right, for them to travel. So it was easier and comfortable also. And also, to make it more comfortable, they have sort of like, there are no steps in the bus. Okay, it has a raised platform which connects to the bus stop, so exactly straight through the bus stop, you can see in the picture itself, right, in the previous page, straightly through the bus stop itself they can get onto the bus. Okay, congestion. Now, you all know, if more people use public transports, using of these vehicles, that is cars and vans, will lessen, right? It'll reduce, decrease, so there will be less pollution, and there will be less congestion also. Congestion means, write the meaning, leakage of fluids. Here, fluids in a sense like fuels, petrol, diesel, right? Leakage of fluids. Second paragraph, the first metro stations in Moscow were built in the 1930s and 1940s as palaces for the people. The architecture was grand and the decoration was elaborate. Komsomolskaya station, for example, had marble columns, mosaics, and chandeliers, which you can still see today. The metro carries 7 million passengers a day on weekends and is known for being frequent and reliable. Here you can underline the word elaborate, reliable, and mosaics. Okay, I'm going to say the meaning. Here they are talking about the metro stations. Okay, this first metro stations was built in Moscow. It's a city, right? In 1930s and 1940s. Here metro trains, these metro stations are the stations where the metro trains are coming. Okay, so you all, here these metro stations were built so grandly, right, in 1930s, that people started to call it as palaces for the people. Now, palaces mean, you all know how grandly and majestic it looks, amazing and beautiful it looks, palaces where king lives. So those palaces are only kept for kings, but as these metro stations looked so beautiful, so big and majestic, they call these palaces for people. All public people used to go into these metro stations, right, in order to book a metro train. And also here mosaics, there mosaics. Mosaic means, in the walls they have built several different marbles, right? Through marbles only they have built the metro stations. And they have chandeliers. Chandeliers mean on top some hanging ornaments, right? Those are called chandeliers. Mosaics mean patterns, right? Any sort of a patterns made of stones in the wall. A pattern made of stones in the wall. Okay, maybe a pattern of a dolphin, or a check, like a black and white pattern, like that. A pattern, that is mosaics. Elaborate, all the designs in these metro stations, right, that were put, it was elaborate, from the tiles to the walls, whatever the design they put. Elaborate means detailed. Okay, elaborate means detailed. And in these stations metro trains are coming, right? That's why they build these stations. So these metro trains, they carry up to 7 million passengers. And also these metro trains are very frequent, that means always they used to come. And they are reliable also, that means they a good quality, it is of good quality and performance. Okay, metro trains. Reliable mean good quality or performance. Now moving on to the third paragraph. Japanese bullet trains travel at up to 320 kilometers an hour. The 520-kilometer journey between Tokyo and Osaka, the world's busiest high-speed line, takes just 3.5 hours by car. It would take 7 bullet trains. It would take just 3.5 hours by car. It would take 7 bullet trains are used. It would take 7. By car, it would take 7. Sorry. Bullet trains are used by commuters because they are fast, reliable, and punctual. They are popular with foreign tourists too, because as a tourist you can buy a rail pass which gives you unlimited travel during your trip to Japan. So in Japan only these bullet trains first they built. These bullet trains are faster, right? Faster than, and can travel for a long distance rather than metro trains. It's faster and it can travel for longer distances than metro trains. Okay, so this now let's take from Tokyo to Osaka, two different cities in Japan. It's 520-kilometer journey. So if you go in a bullet train, it would only take about, I think, 3.5 hours for that 520-kilometer journey. But by car it would take 7 hours. They have said it would take 7 hours. Okay, so in Japan these bullet trains are used by commuters. Commuters mean, underline that word, commuters mean the ones who travel regularly, the people who travel regularly for their work, right? Those are whom you call the commuters. So these bullet trains are more specially used by commuters and the tourists. And there's a special offer for tourists. They get this unlimited pass. A pass is a ticket, like a thing, right, which you could use to travel in the bullet trains. This unlimited pass is given for tourists so that they can travel in the trains whichever time they want and however journeys they want, how much ever journeys they want, not 1 2 unlimited journeys. Okay, so we are going to talk only those first 3 paragraphs, right? The next 2 I'll be continuing from the next lesson. Thank you.